Good afternoon, I'm Asad Ahmad. People in and around London enjoying walks in woodland and by rivers and canals in the warm weather are being warned about the dangers of giant hogweed. It looks harmless but is poisonous and can cause burns and blisters which can scar for life. Barry Caffrey has more on it and the harm it can cause.
The Victorians imported it as a garden ornamental, but giant hogweed is a massive horticultural hazard. Its dainty white flowers give the wrong impression. This plant is poisonous. Daniel Logan came into contact with giant hogweed while trying to retrieve a bull. He was left with these burns on his ankle.
I was in the park playing football with my little brothers. We were coming down this trail to go and look at the lock with my auntie and her boyfriend. And my brother kicked the ball into the bush, so I've gone to retrieve the ball. I stung my ankle. I thought it was a stinging nettle and I thought nothing of it, so I just left it for a couple of days. And it became blistered, it became really swollen, and the pressure was really bad. It got quite sore.
Although an impressive sight, giant hogweed is invasive and potentially harmful. Chemicals in the sap can cause photodermatitis or photosensitivity, where the skin is left very sensitive to sunlight and can suffer from pigmentation, blistering and long-lasting scars. Giant hogweed often grows near canals and rivers, and local councils do try to get rid of it. But as it's invasive, it's hard to control, and not everyone knows about it.
I've heard of it, but I wouldn't have been able to recognize it until recently when I read about a lady who was walking her dog and brushed against it and then came up her face was swollen.
I've read about at least 2 local people who've touched it by mistake and they've had really unpleasant side effects, rashes and blisters and so on.
Dr. Mark Spencer is a botanist and an expert on invasive species.
It's fair to say, if I see a giant hogweed plant, I keep 2 or 3 metres away from it because I don't want to be burnt. As I say, these burns can scar for life potentially. They're incredibly unpleasant. People who've had them say they really, really hurt. So it is quite a significant risk. It's the only plant I would actually say beware of in our country. We have many, many poisonous plants and fungi, most of which are actually totally safe to be around, apart from giant hogweed. Do not touch it.
As for Daniel, his injuries have started to improve.
Now I know it would never happen again, you know what I mean? But I'm lucky, I'm 21 years old and it's only my ankle. If a little kid falls in there, gets it on their face or something, that's going to cause them life-changing injuries. So I'm lucky, but someone else might not have that luck.
Barry Caffrey, BBC London.
3 young entrepreneurs have been sharing their vision for Brixton, to turn it into a mini Silicon Valley, but with a difference. The difference being that they want it to be a Silicon Valley for black-owned businesses. The reason? Because they say someone with a black business in the UK is more likely to contract skin cancer than receive funding. Here's Yasmin Rufo.
After turning his life around, Carl Locko wanted to give back to the community that saved him. He has now set up his own company that provides funding for black-led startups in London.
We're based in Brixton and we're aiming to make Brixton the Black Silicon Valley.
Carl, along with 2 other entrepreneurs, Yvonne and Cyril, run an investment firm called Black Seed.
Black Seed is a fund in the community led by black founders for black founders. Currently, the black founder, black entrepreneur in the UK doesn't actually receive funding. It is more likely for a black woman to win the lottery on a Saturday night than to get venture capital funding in the United Kingdom.
One company that has benefited from Black Seed support is a mother and daughter duo that run an online fashion and wellness brand.
Super challenging here in the UK to gain access to funding. Being connected to Black Seed has really helped to open some of those doors, expand our network, also gives us access to potential funding as well, which we're really excited about.
And Black Seed has high hopes for the future.
So we want Black Seed to be the bridge between the city and the black founder community. Our aim is essentially to make Brixton the home of black tech.
Having already raised £5 million to invest in other companies, Black Seed are one step closer to achieving their goal. Yasmin Rufo, BBC London.
Police are stepping up patrols around Hampstead Heath after several reports of a man indecently exposing himself to women. Officers are linking 4 reports of the man who then asked the women if they want to have sex. Detectives want to hear from anyone else it may have happened to and have described the man as being between 25 and 35, having tan skin, short brown hair and dark eyes. Kentish Town Tube Station has been closed today for up to a year to replace the escalators and ticket hall. They're said to be the two most unreliable escalators on the London Underground. Transport for London is asking customers to use Kentish Town Thameslink Station, Tufnell Park Tube Station or local bus routes instead. Pride in London is set to take place this Saturday. You can expect tens, if not hundreds of thousands of people, and not just from the LGBT+ community. It's got bigger and more inclusive over the past 50 years, and now there's no missing it. Amy LeMay, who's the night czar for the Mayor of London and long-time LGBTQ+ campaigner, showed Sarah Morris how London Transport is adopting bright colours in support of Pride.
Look at them, aren't they absolutely gorgeous? We've got so many colours, loads of different representations of the diversity within the LGBTQ+ community are wrapped around these buses, and you'll see representation of our community not just on the buses and trains but also posters across the network. So it's a great way to really shout about the fact that our diversity is our strength here in London.
And what does Pride mean to you personally?
Pride means a struggle for our equal rights. It's very personal to me as I'm part of the community, but it also means a really great opportunity to get together with friends, with family, with allies, and really mark the occasion with a big parade, usually lots of glitter and feathers as well, but never really forgetting at its very core that Pride was a protest.
That's Amy LeMay speaking to Sarah Morris a little earlier. Now, the luxury car maker Aston Martin, which was created in London over 100 years ago, has announced this morning that it will start making high-performance electric vehicles. Famous for its James Bond cars, Aston Martin has agreed with a US firm to receive components to create electric vehicle batteries for Aston Martin's future models. The first is expected in 2025. Now the weather forecast with Kate.
Good afternoon. Well, it's certainly feeling a little bit cooler, fresher than the weekend. We've lost the humidity, but we've hung on to the sunny spells. Bit of patchy cloud, yes, but the sun coming out now and again. This afternoon, there's still a chance of 1 or 2 showers, but it should stay largely dry for many. Now, you can see earlier the clouds starting to bubble up. We've got a moderate to fresh westerly wind today. And like I said, the chance of 1 or 2 showers, many places avoiding them. We haven't seen too many so far. Temperature's still warm, 24 Celsius, but we've lost that humidity, so it's markedly cooler than the weekend. Now overnight tonight it's dry, lengthy clear spells, bit of patchy cloud coming and going. Minimum temperature again in double figures, 10 Celsius at the minimum. Now for tomorrow, similar start to this morning, bit of brightness, some sunshine, but a warm front approaches and that's going to turn the skies rather overcast through tomorrow, especially into the afternoon. Patchy light rain, drizzle a possibility, temperatures at 22 Celsius. But this warm front is also introducing some humid air, so Tuesday night into Wednesday it is going to be quite uncomfortable, and another humid day on Wednesday. Chances of some showers later on Wednesday, then this cold front moves through, bringing some rain potentially into Thursday, but eventually that should clear, getting rid of the humidity and a little cooler by the end of the week. All in all, it's an unsettled week with temperatures in the low to mid-20s.
Well, that's it for now. Riz Latif will be here with our early evening news at 6:30. And for more on the new suspect named in connection with the murder of Stephen Lawrence in Eltham 30 years ago, do take a look at our website or just go to the BBC News app. From all of us here on the BBC London Lunchtime team, have a good afternoon. Bye-bye.